Hi, my name is Stephanie and I am the creative girl behind the designs. And today I'm going to talk to you about this fun little planner, or technically it's not a planner anymore, but we're going to talk a little bit about, or I'm going to share with you my archive planner or archival planner. Alright, so today I wanted to talk about, I've been mentioning it a few times in the videos about an archive planner, and in the current state, or that I was speaking about it, I was speaking about my work planner where I had taken out, so I have a monthly extension, Girl with Goals, and I had taken out the whole packets. I had 3 of them. And I had put the remainder of the packets into a planner or cover with discs to hold for when I needed it to put in. So I can basically take out the months I've used, put them in there, and take out the new months that I'm going to use and put them into the planner. So bottom line is that is called an archive planner or an archival storage system for your disc-bound planner. And I'll show you. Let me grab it. I want to make sure I grab the right one. So this is the one that I'd recently changed to. And so everything in my current work planner, which is the Girl with Goals extension pack, has in it the Girl with Goals extension. It's in a Live Love Posh cover. It's the white cover, snap cover. And what I did was I took all of the following months, so, April through December, of that extension pack, and I put them all in here so that when I needed to grab out the next months, I could take them out of here to put them into the planner cover that I'm carrying. So this is one method or storage of planner pages that are either past or current. So in my case, this isn't past pages. These are going to be past pages. It's going to be a combination for a period of time. It'll be both ones that I've already used and ones I'm going to be going into. But then also it's going to contain, once I get to the end, it's going to be all 12 months. And I have the option of keeping it in here, storing it, or I could find other methods. There's a multitude of ways in which you can archive your planner pages. If you choose to keep them, you may choose to keep certain months or, certain pages if you made extra pages and so forth. So this is one method. And this is I call it a current archive storage system because this holds all my current planner months. So that's one method. And really what it means when you're doing an archive storage, all it simply means is you're taking pages that you've either recorded on, so such as the planner pages, January and February, or you're keeping your future pages handy to use them when you need it, which is what I just showed you. Now, how do you set one up? Well, that's the fun part. It's completely up to you. So for me, I use, of course, a disc planner, but really the system is the same no matter whether you're using a ring planner or a disc bound. The concept is the same. You basically need, in this case, we'll talk about disc. You need a cover, and then you need a set of discs. Now you have, of course, with Happy Planner or even any other disc bound system, there are multiple size discs you can use. I would suggest if you're going to create an archive or archival storage, you can call it an archive planner because really they have planner pages in them. But again, however you want to reference it, whether it be an archive planner or archival storage, I would suggest picking up or getting or using, if you can, the largest disc, the expander discs, at least for Happy Planner. Every disc system has their own label for their largest discs. So basically what you're going to look to do is get the largest disc you can. Now remember, when you're storing it, you need room for that disc. So the larger you go, the more room you're going to need. Okay, so then, if you've been a happy planner for a while, which we all know it's addicting, you will more than likely have a plethora of covers to choose from. Some of us will keep them, some of us will, get rid of them, whichever. But somewhere in your stash, you likely have a cover that you're not using anymore. That's the perfect cover to use for your planner. I happen to have, so back in 2015-16 when I started planning in the Happy Planner, I had ordered this, I think, from Etsy. So this became, because I love this look, I love this style, but it kind of isn't, something I carry anymore. So I decided this was the perfect cover to use for my archive storage, if I can say that 10 times fast. And basically it has a, pattern on the inside. You have the option, you can take scrapbook paper, make your own. You can pull out your stash, see what you've got. You can, depending on how you're using your planner, if you're keeping all your months in your planner and using it as, the month comes, you can certainly keep all the months in there, and at the end of that time, you store it. You just leave it in the cover on the discs and you store it. I did that, so this is my archive planner, but I'm going to explain why I only have one, and as you can tell, it is jam-packed. These are not the only pages I have. I do have other archived planners that I kind of kept basically in the cover, much because I used the entire amount of planner pages. They weren't too bulky. I was able to keep them in the planner, which is more than likely on a classic size disc. There are a few covers I may want to reuse. When that time comes, I can just pull out a cover I'm not using, pop it on, change it out. That's the beauty of Happy Planner or a disc-bound system. You can easily change out the cover, the inserts, the pages, the discs, anytime you want, super, super easy. But as a Happy Planner, you know that. As a disc-bound planner, you know that. But that's the appeal to it. So if I, for whatever reason, decided one day I want to use this inside as a current cover, I just have to take this off, put another cover on, and then I've got a new planner cover. So this is, you're gonna get your discs, your cover. Now the third component to what you would need to set up an archive planner is really going to be dependent upon how you are using your planner pages. For example, if you've been planning long enough, and ooh, that's really full, you know that you can tell from the look of these tabs, this was a really old extension pack. It was an undated extension. I picked it up. I used it clearly for odd months, January, February, March, April. So January through March, I'm not sure where that is, but that's beside the point. So basically what I did was I kept my tabs the way they are, but some of us like to take our tab and cut off the tab indicating the month. So you have the option either way, but I would suggest if you cut it off like this, I would have you look for, maybe your old tabs, because again, we also keep our tabs if we haven't used them. And so you're going to want tabs, or do like I did, which is basically use 3M removable, they're tabs, and I can easily remove it, replace it, change it, take it off if I end up getting rid of these pages. At some point, I will go back through this and I will get rid of things that I don't need anymore. Just before coming on video, I did add in this last portion, which was, here we go, I had a social media archive notebook, and it basically just held all non-specific calendar pages that related to social media. So in this case, this was a, let's see if I can get to a page. I can't really show all of it. This was the checklist format that comes with a teacher plan. This came out of a teacher planner, and it's usually tucked at the back of those the monthly tabs. All I did, as you can tell, is I cut off the tab that said checklist. So I just kind of put it in here. I took it all out of the notebook and I put it in here. That's really what made this super, super thick. There's no more room. So if I wanted to continue to archive in this cover, I'm going to need to filter something out. So you're going to want your disc, your cover. I would still say pick up some tabs, removable tabs. You can use these, which are clear, or you can use the regular full color tabs. Let me grab those. Okay, like these. You can use these as well. Same concept. There's also larger ones that are like a bigger block. You could grab those if you wanted. If you use the bigger ones more, you can grab those and just cut them down. You know, so you're basically, all you're doing is you're creating a tab. And the reason I did that is because I have different years in here. So I have them in here. I had to reorganize because I had been just throwing stuff in there. I reorganized them from oldest to newest in the back. That's just how I prefer to find them if I need to locate them. And so for me, that's just how I like to do it. But you can do it any way you want. You can put the oldest at the back and start putting it in new every time you archive a planner. So we've talked about what it is. We've talked about how to set one up, what you're going to need. And so what I do, so again, this goes back to organizing your pages. You can organize by month, you can organize by year, you can organize by even the event. If you have specific things, planners that were set up for specific events, let's say your wedding, or, you know, baby, or, you know, things that you weren't going to keep as memories, maybe, you can put into an archive. I chose to put them in here based on the year. Oldest in the front, newest in the back. And what that does is just help me locate what I'm looking for when I need it. So now let me talk about quickly the planners that, so 2019 was probably a good year to reference. In 2019, there were a lot of the planner girls that came out. There was, you know, Trendsetter and Healthy Hero. You know, if you've been in here long enough in planning and Happy Planner, you know about the planner girls. And so basically there were all the planner girl planners that had come out, and I think we all bought probably one of each, right? So, and of course, when you have more than one, if you didn't have a direct purpose, you need, you know, you're only going to use so much of it. Case in point, let me see if I can find it. I think this is one. So here's Healthy Hero. Ugh, these are so thick. So this again was 2019, and I have what, March? Okay, so speaking of, you know, Healthy Hero, wellness, you know, that type of thing, I've tried multiple times. Not very successful at it. Case in point, I used 3 months of Healthy Hero, and that was it. And in here, I also have Trendsetter, 2 months, you know, so on and so forth. So this planner or archive storage, let me find the one big planner. There was one planner that is almost the whole planner. Is it this one? Yes. So it's this one. This one is the Make Today Great planner. It was that really pretty florals, woodsy kind of vibe to it. And I have, let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. I have almost 7 months worth. Now, some pages I haven't filled in, but This is probably the only planner in here that has the most pages in it, archived from one planner and not kept in the original planner. So all of these are portions. You can tell from my tabs at the top here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then my social media tab. So I have 8 partial planners in here. That's, you know, anywhere from 1 to, you know, 7 months worth of tabs. Planners, you know, in the beginning we used to do a lot of like scrapbooking type stuff in here. I've got those that kind of bulks it out. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to be archiving something somewhere soon. So, you know, case in point, this old one. Like this is, look at these dashboards, right? Again, I say dashboard, but they're currently page. Look at how just archaic they look. They're original. They're part of the extension pack that I had, the undated extension, but they really don't look anything like they do nowadays. But even back then, I didn't really use them. These things, I didn't plan in my planner for these type of things. I planned for other purposes. So, you know, really all these other things, I just for whatever reason didn't include. Even today, I don't really include them in my current planner. So that's why I appreciate the new, more minimal style planner look, because it gives me a clean slate. I can work off of that. If I want to add birthdays, I can add birthdays. But I usually do that within the month. So I digress. But the point was, I wanted to give you an idea of what is an archival planner or a archive storage system. So the other one I'm going to show you, have that off to the side here. So another archival system, so to speak, is this one here. I keep this one. Again, this was I don't think this came from a planner. I honestly don't even remember. But I keep it on my IKEA shelf, so it's current for me. I have some metal discs that just kind of, you know, went with the nice gold font on here. And so I keep this on my shelf, and what I keep in it, so these are kind of past and current. And it's really more for me to be able to look back on so that I can more easily reference. And in here, I have like this is like my goals archive planner. So I keep in here my, let's see, pages I created and I haven't used yet. So I have this one. These were from my Kanban board at one time. I had, you know, stuck these on the board. I have a board here, a goals board that I never used, but I keep it in here because when the time comes and I feel like using it, I can. I keep in here things like my old word of the year vellum sheets that I was putting in my planner. I do have not a word of the year vellum. It's just a cover page to my planner of my blog name behind the designs. And if you remember, okay, this one I can't show. Let me take a peek. I wanted to show you this. I can show you this side. So at one time, I had created this dashboard. It was basically a booklet. And there's another page, but I had some financial information on there. And I made this little mini booklet. It was like my vision board. And this was before I redid my craft room. And I kind of put this together. So this is like a good example of a vision board where I kind of put in there all the things that, you know, made me and gave me the vibe of what I wanted to redo my office and craft room in. So I keep things like that. I mean, look how fun is this cute little raised flower too, right? So this holds all of my I'm just going to look and see if I can bring out the back side. Okay, well, no, but... And then here was another one I created. This was my year, 2021. This was my cover or word of the year page. So, you know, I keep things like that in here. And then, where's my tab here? I'm going to show you this. Okay. So this was my one little word half sheet paper. I keep this in here so that I can keep track of what words I used in what years. And that's just so that, and as you can tell, I have already written in my 2024 year. And so that kind of keeps me, you know, if you have to repeat a word, that's totally fine. But that's what I also keep that in here. To me, it's important to see what my word of the year was at a glance. I also have in here some older Happy Planner printables that they've had out. I added in this cardstock tab so that I could keep in there as well some pages that I haven't finished or I hadn't used yet. And then there's just no paper. And I do have a folder in the back as well, in case there's anything I needed to add into this binder. So there are 3 different types. Let me pull them out here. We have, and again, 2 of them are somewhat current, and then 2 of them are somewhat current, and then 1 of them is a complete archive. So this one archives all old pages. Everything in here is older. It's used in its halves, I'll say halves or just pages of a planner. And then I have my goals and then as well my current work. You may hear my cat meow. She's at the door. I have my current work pages, my goals, and then my archive. So these are just 3 different types of planner archive storage systems you can create with a Happy Planner with just simple covers and discs. And then, so if you have any current planners or, you know, recently expired planners that, you know, you really love the cover, I would suggest if you aren't using the pages or you're going to recycle them or sell them or whatever you do, you know, if you really love the planner cover, keep the cover because you never know when you're going to be able to use it again. So, and then really the only thing you need to maintain, I'm going to try and set that up there so it don't fall. The only other thing you need to maintain this is simply to keep adding in tabs in your planner pages that you're going to archive. And so again, these are partial planners. They're not full planners. The longest this ever went was 7 months. Planners that I've used, so like Socialite I used, and then the sophisticated florals, I use those in their entirety, so they are stored in the cover that they belong to. They don't have to be, but that's just how I left them. So sorry, I have to keep going off camera and taking some water, a bit seasonal allergies. Anyhow, so so that is my suggestion if you wanted to keep your pages stored. It's a simple system. It's easy to maintain. It's easy to put together. And you may find, say, in a 12-month period, maybe you don't want to save the whole 12 months, but there were certain months, like maybe a birthday was in a month, and you did a little bit of memory keeping. Certainly take those pages, archive them, and then you can get rid of the rest. So that is my take on what an archive planner is, what an archival storage is. I wanted to share what I do, how I do it, because I have mentioned it a lot in the last few videos because of my extension pack that I'm currently using. as you can tell, I also keep on some of my planners, I got these little tags, I want to say maybe Hobby Lobby. I just added some chain to it and I just flagged it with what it is. So when it sits on my IKEA shelf, which you can see that in my craft room tour, I can quickly find what that is, because as you know, with a disc bound, you don't know unless you pull it out partway. So I just kind of tag the disc, and it keeps it a super simple, easy way for me to locate the planner I'm looking for. So here are my archive planner storage systems. I thank you for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification. Since these are kind of archive, I don't think there's much I can link for you in the description, but anything I can link and my favorite supplies will be linked in the description box below. I hope you have a wonderful day as you create a beautiful life.